Hi, Kerrie. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Annie. How are you?
I'm the same as I was 2 minutes ago.
I know, it's funny, isn't it?
I get so excited when I see that countdown.
I
I sit
know.
there going 29,
Yeah,
28,
yeah,
27.
that's right.
We've got no
Oh,
friends.
too funny. Yeah, I'm just having a look.
Hi, Call. How are you, my darling?
Hi,
Lovely to
Colleen.
see you.
Face-
Hi,
Hi,
Gail.
Gail. Lovely to see everyone jumping in.
I think we've got a few on, um, what's the little eye thing, Kerrie?
Um, YouTube. So
Well,
there's
we've got,
YouTube and there's Facebook.
yeah, we've got a few on
Yeah,
YouTube as well.
yeah,
I'm sorry we
that's
had to go early. I'm going to be in the dark tonight. They're turning my lights off, and we've got people working across the road from us. They're putting in a new telegraph pole, so it's going to be lit up like a Christmas tree. It'll be beautiful. And they're going to dig out the pole and put a great big giant pole, but they've got to cut my lights out. So from 8 o'clock tonight until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm going to
no
be in the
power.
dark.
Just
Yeah,
just lights, Annie, or power as well? Is it
the
the
whole
whole
kit and
lot?
caboodle. Yeah, the whole
Ooh,
lot.
wow. So candlelight tonight. Although their big floodlights might flood the house as well. Give you some
Mm.
light that way.
Sleep's the concern,
Yeah, that's the
but that's
problem.
okay.
And the noise. The noise.
I
Although
can
we've had
sleep
a bit
through
of rain.
anything.
We've had a bit of rain, so they may not be able to, yeah.
Which just
So
means we'll do it next week.
yeah, just delays
Yeah.
the inevitable, doesn't it? Yeah.
Colleen, I saw a few people in Canberra. There's millions of people in Canberra. I saw a video that someone put up. I actually put it on my Facebook page, and there were like millions of people there. Squillions.
Yep.
It made me cry.
I know. Yesterday, actually, I did have tears in my eyes. I was just listening to a couple of people, and I to just speaking to the camera. It wasn't even just everyday people talking about the unity and love that's being shown down there amongst that group is incredible energy right now in that space.
It is. It is.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
well, I might just start, shall I?
so
I'll just get going. So, we were going to talk about conscious conversations today, and it's a follow on from what we did last week with synchronicity because it does all align one to the other. And today, just to open up the conversation a bit, I was just going to read just a couple of paragraphs. Oh, there you go. Out of this book here, The Celestine Vision. Is that better? You can see it. um, just to share, well, what is a conscious conversation? Um, okay, so the chapter is called The Importance of Uplifting Others. But what if, after finding ourselves in a synchronistic meeting with another person, no messages immediately come to the surface? Or more likely, the messages are blocked by fear or a control drama of some kind. First of all, we can go within and try to increase our own energy level by focusing on love, lightness, and connection with the environment. From this higher energy state, we can look with fresh eyes at the person with whom we've been talking. When confronting a control drama, we must first send loving energy to the person by focusing on them completely. What we are actually doing is sending spiritual energy to the higher self of the person. That allows them to ease the rigid assumptions defined by their control drama. Remember that the universe responds to our intentions. Our thoughts and beliefs go out like prayers into the world, and the environment tries to give us what we seem to want. The key is to keep our energy high and to use the power of our intentions in a positive way. The answer, of course, is that we must focus on the wholeness of the other person's face with an attitude of openness. As the other person talks, if we look closely, we can begin to see the higher self of that person, the particular expression that reflects the individual's greater awareness and knowledge. If we begin to speak to this higher self, this genius, projecting love at the same time, the person will begin to move into that awareness while we're interacting with them, perhaps feeling that sense of acceptance for the first time. This is the process of uplifting others in which we can now engage consciously. So I just thought I'd share that concept because Annie and you and I have talked about that quite a bit. That when you actually really not just listen to someone, but really hear them, that by creating that environment, it allows the conversation to become much deeper and to be able to share ideas that can be expanded on, even if you don't agree with those particular ideas. Just accepting them and not having to necessarily agree or change someone else's mind, but just to allow that to be the space to enable the conversation to move to another level.
Yeah. As a community worker for 45 years, I'm an avid people watcher, and I love sitting like in restaurants and places, even at my shopping centre, and just watching people. And my biggest concern at the moment is that I'll be in a restaurant or I'll be somewhere, and every single person is on their mobile phone, and the kids are all on their
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
And mum has no idea, oblivious to what's happening. And if two people are out in a restaurant, I sometimes think, well, are they texting each other? Because they can't not do anything anymore. And I just feel the art of conversation is lost.
lost.
It's getting lost because
Hmm.
people are now texting, you're not talking, and it just, instead of talking to your child or your husband or your partner or your friends, they all just seem to be in this bubble of technology where nothing is important. The other thing that drives me insane is that people are at concerts and they're looking at the world through a screen. You might as well watch it on the telly. It makes no sense.
It's ridiculous because you're just filming it instead of being in the moment,
Present.
feeling the energy,
Yeah,
taking in what's around you, the
yeah.
surrounding. That's the whole idea of being there in the first place. So,
Conscious conversation is very difficult though, Kerrie, because I was at a meditation session on Tuesday, and one of the girls, as a result of her meditation, said, um, "There's someone here I'm feeling who's not being heard or who's not speaking their truth." And four
yeah.
people instantly claimed it. And
Hmm.
I thought, there's a thing about communication. If so many people whinge or complain. If you've got a terrible job or a terrible boss or a terrible partner, everybody knows about it. The next door neighbor knows, all your friends know, your family know. The only person that you don't talk to is the person who can actually fix it because
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
difficult conversation. And conscious conversations are about walking your talk and
Hmm.
speaking your truth. And
Hmm.
people, it's the one thing that got me into so much trouble because I do speak my truth. And
Yeah.
like, people either love me or hate me because I'm very direct.
Hmm.
And I don't, I've got a bit better, not much, but a little bit. Um, because I've also learned that my way of communicating is fine for some people, but depending on who I'm talking to, I have to change my communication style because
Hmm.
I've got people that I can talk to or read for, and I can be really, really direct. But
Mm-hmm.
I've got people that I can talk to or read for that are really gentle, or they're in a space where they need just to talk or
Mm-hmm.
just to be listened to. And at times, you can't just say, well, this is how I am, and the people can either love me or hate me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about matching someone's energy and reading that energy so that
Mm-hmm.
you can respond in a way that's appropriate, or you won't be heard,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
And when people are in conversation, so many people are sat there going, I know what I'm going to say next, or I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next, instead of listening. Now, our Indigenous population,
Mm-hmm.
when you have conversations with them, this is also something I've learned, is they listen, but they don't instantly respond because they're actually thinking about what you've said
Mm-hmm.
and how to respond to you and processing. Whereas we just jump in, and I'm terrible for that. I know I do that. But it's about being respectful, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and actually thinking. Like I've said it before, how do I know what I think till I hear what I say?
So yeah,
You know, I'm
exactly.
an
It's
external processor.
it's interesting, isn't it? Because it can be exactly like that. That sometimes you just instinctively add something to a conversation and go, I don't even know where that came from, you know. But it's that connection and that higher knowing, but it feels right, you know. So you're actually listening to your higher self at that point.
Now, I've got out the very first thing I wrote down today is a quote from um, the book that says, "If you commit to holding your truth, your mind will come up with what to say intuitively, even if you've never had these ideas before."
Yes.
And that was the very, very first thing that I wrote down today. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, you know, in conversation, if I'm in a proper conversation with someone, not a, you know, chitter chatter, rubbish, gossip chatter conversation, a real one,
Mm-hmm.
all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden things fall out my face and I think, where did that come from?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Who?
I didn't know I knew that. Or
Yeah,
I thought that.
it
Yeah,
just kind of happens.
I know.
Sometimes I think I'm clever.
You know, and look, I also think part of those conversations are not just the conversations or the conscious conversations that we have with other people, but being consciously aware of the conversations that we have with ourselves.
Hmm.
Because quite often we can be talking to ourselves and we're reaffirming not necessarily the best things that we should be, and catching ourselves out on that thinking to go deeper, because there can be an underlying reason that we're feeling or thinking a certain way, but to sit and work through it, so that you can accept, yeah, that's a legitimate way that I'm feeling, but I'm not going to let that emotion take over. But if we're constantly, the self talk is, oh, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate that, well, then you're just going to attract all that back in. So, consciously catching ourselves out on those thoughts as well, having the conscious conversation with our higher self is probably just as important, because our thoughts don't stop. So it's not just the conversations with other people, but it's also those inward conversations as well.
Hmm. I think it's also important to remember that your energy and personal reality it's contagious.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Yes.
found personally that if I'm upbeat, happy, my energy is high, that's the kind of people I attract. If I'm in company with these people, my energy
Mm-hmm.
stays high. Like I'm thinking about our gatherings, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like the energy when everybody's on the same page and we're all there for the same kind of purpose and everybody's happy and having a good time, then it's magic. All this stuff starts to happen. But
Yeah.
conversely, if you are surrounded by people who are negative and who are grumpy all the time, then that sucks the energy out of you. And you can
Mm.
literally feel your energy dropping.
You
So,
absolutely can. So being aware who you're around, um,
mm,
and it's an interesting thing, Annie, because even if you think about when you first fall in love with someone and you're pouring out that, don't say it's been a while, right? It's been a
no,
while.
I'm just thinking, you just turned into a bloody idiot, blah, blah. And you
Okay,
go
now
on stupid.
think that. And it's all lovely, and you start pouring all that love energy out to someone willingly. And then after a period of time, it becomes, oh, what are you giving me? And you start to get this energy grab,
Yeah,
like what are you giving me instead of what I'm giving you? And that's when, you either work through that and learn to give and take, um, or it can be when relationships, and not just, love relationships can break down. So it is about, that energy exchange between people.
mm,
And if there's a blocker there, or someone's continuously putting um, yes, but, you know, they're not really listening. They're just blocking anything that you're giving them. Um,
mm,
but again, by sending that love energy and opening that up, if you do it willingly, they don't need to steal it from you,
mm,
so, and you're plugged in, so you're not drained from it either,
yeah,
right? Whereas when it becomes the grab, it's draining,
yeah,
so it's that same sort of thing. And with the gathering, if we think about that, so we all meet and we talk about all different topics and we learn different things together. And when someone's speaking in that group, what you notice is everyone's energy is then focused on that person in a loving and kind way, which allows them to express as well and share their insight, what they felt, what they saw, what they're getting.
mm,
And instead of trying to pull the energy back, so it's sort of automatically, when that energy is finished and that thought bubble is sort of finished, the energy will shift to the next person. So it can be extremely powerful when you're working with the right group of people as well. If you understand that energy exchange and you can feel where that energy is being redirected through the conversation.
I just want to respond to Belinda. Um, that it's so easy to drop into that negative thinking. Um, and all these guru people say things like, you need to love yourself. You need to look in the mirror and say, I love myself. I can't do that. Like, I just think I love you. It doesn't work for me at all. But when I do, if I ever do drop into that negative, what I always think is, okay, so what have I done today that's good and positive? I might have told somebody I liked their dress. I might have told somebody I liked their hair. I might have smiled at somebody or waved to the wee lady that walks her doggy down the road. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff is energy exchange, and it's all positive. And I can say, I love how I've been today. I love how I've interacted with people today. I haven't done anything bad to anybody today,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And instead of dropping into the, oh my goodness, this has happened, that has happened, if that goes down, what I say is, okay, so what have I learned from that? What have I
Mm-hmm.
learned from that? Another really interesting thing that happened to me this week. Um, I was working somewhere and I left. And when I left, um, it wasn't a pleasant kind of leaving. The person that I was working for was upset that I had gone, and I hadn't heard from her for 12 months. And all of a sudden, she wanted her place cleansed. And I thought, am I going to do that? And then I thought,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't you do it? And I thought, because she hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, but that was my perception of the things she said to me. And I thought, why? Just go and do it, woman. Just go and sort it out. Put your big girl pants on and be a grown up.
Mm-hmm.
So another of my friends said, "Would you do it?" I said, "I don't know if I want to do it for her." And my friend said, "Would you do it for me?" And I thought, "Yes, I would do anything for you." So I went and did it. And in all honesty, I felt a whole lot better about me
Yep.
after he had done that thing for her because it helped her energy. We had a proper conversation
Yes.
at that point. Um, and it's also mended
Mm-hmm.
my heart.
So it was important, Annie,
Yeah,
because it allowed that whole situation to have a sense of closure and healing over it.
yeah,
Um, because we create that emotion within ourselves, not necessarily the intent of somebody else. Um, and I think about that too. That in order to accept everyone, I also have to accept the things I don't necessarily like about myself. And I haven't had a perfect past, right? I have to admit that I'm far from the perfect person, and certainly there's been moments where perhaps I wanted to hurt somebody else because they hurt me. I wanted them to feel that same pain, but that's a karmic thing that if I can accept myself and go, yeah, okay, well, I had that emotion. Um, I'm human, but it's not how I want to be. I'd rather send out the energy for peace and for love and to let that go. And then I'm not carrying it either. And it's a way of working through your own karma as well, which is all part of the spiritual growth as well. So as disappointed as, I've been sometimes in the past with my attitude towards things, I'm also learnt a lot from having to reflect on my own thoughts, not necessarily actions. I didn't take a lot of action, but just the things that I would think. Take responsibility for that and turn that around with my own internal conversation, and allows me to relate better to understanding how others feel as well. Um, on that, what I just thought was, there's a little four, one, two, three, four, five suggestions on the celestinevision.com website that talks about how to engage in conscious conversation. Um, the first one is carry the attitude of expecting synchronicity all the way into the conversation. Synchronistic flow feels as though you are slowing down and that you are at the center of your own unfolding movie. Keep this centered clarity and you'll know what to say. Commit to holding your truth, including all the ideas that come up intuitively to say, even if you've never thought them before. You don't need to defend yourself or to convince anyone of anything. Just share the truth of the situation as you see it without needing the other person to agree with you. And above all, hear the other person's truth and consider it. It could be a learning moment. So particularly with synchronicities that we were talking about last week, and then combining that with the conscious conversation and the idea of oneness with someone else, where you can actually give them the energy to share that truth, not necessarily agree with them, but also be in the space to share your own truth. And somewhere in there, you never know where that conversation may lead, or the next bit of information that you were looking for or seeking gets to come in. Um, and not forcing somebody else. You can share all this wisdom, all the wisdom that you like, right? But if the other person's not receptive and doesn't want to know about it, well, then there's no point in sharing anything. So it's about being aware of where that person is too, so you're hearing them, um, and you're not forcing that either, um, because otherwise, the conversation just shuts down at that point. So it's an interesting concept because with synchronicity, particularly, and then looking for that conscious conversation that comes out of that, quite often it will lead us to the next step. And when the student is ready, and we've said this before, when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive, right? But we've also got to be aware that we're not always in that space of being teacher either, right? And if the student's not ready, don't teach or lecture them. So there's that balancing act, and connecting with the energy and that love space lets you understand where they are. So just a thought on from synchronicity and those conscious conversations.
I think the other thing too is that quite often we just say things and it might not seem important to us, but at a later date, it might just, you might be the right place, right person, right time to say something to someone that just turns a light switch on,
Mm-hmm.
and you might never find out about it. It just happens. And the other thing too that I'm finding at the moment is that again, people aren't talking to each other. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's a walking group that toddles around the park across the road from me, and there's one lady that goes to the walking group because the walking group is the only people she's got to talk to, nobody else. So
Mm-hmm.
she walks at 7 o'clock in the morning so that she has somebody to speak to. And I think that's also sad that that's happening more and more and more now, that
Mm-hmm.
people are more and more isolated. Families are fractured, they're all over the place now.
Yeah. And what you said earlier, where you do see people sitting in restaurants and they're on their phone. I think conscious conversations are going to be even harder for the younger generation who predominantly text each other. That's a whole other level of connection.
Yeah, their methods of communication are just different.
Mm,
Um, I, it's like rappers. I know that this is a ridiculous statement, but I was a Dylan girl because I'm older than dirt, and he was the poet of the 70s. And if you really listen to the lyrics of like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez, they were, you know, very political for their time. And now
mm,
you've got people like Eminem. I love
mm-hmm.
Eminem. And the language is appalling, but the stories are there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so their methods of communication are different. And
Mm-hmm.
sharing on TikTok, I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but if that's the only way you can get to a child, where a child or a young person feels, well, I'm not the only one that feels like this, or
Mm-hmm.
there are other people out there like me, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. The it's a different method of communication,
Yeah,
not necessarily our methods of communication,
that's
but
right.
different, you know.
Yep.
And sometimes young people surprise the living bejesus out of you. Because I used to work with kids, and they would say things where you would just go, "Whoa, whoa, where did that come from?" You
Yep.
know?
Old souls tapping into that wise knowledge.
Yeah. And again, though, it's about listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a whole pile of drivel. It's like when your kids get in the back of the car when you pick them up from school, and
Yep.
there's, like half an hour of absolute claptrap, and then something, just one nugget. And it's about
Yeah.
holding on to that or thinking, I need to get back to that. I need to ask
Mm-hmm.
about that one. I need to, but that's about that listening stuff.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's being able to focus your energy and really listen without thinking about what you're going to say next. Um, it takes practice sometimes to do that, because we get halfway through a sentence, and I think I saw Belinda say something similar to this before in chat. That you get halfway through a sentence, you go, oh, I know what the answer to that. I don't need to listen to the rest of your sentence. Just let me give you the answer. No, 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 no. Slow down, listen, there's more to it. Uh,
I'm not listening, Kerrie. I'm responding to.
yeah, I know. See, we're talking about conscious conversations, and in between the conscious conversation we're trying to have, we're also trying to keep up and say hello to people in chat. So, Annie, let's do a quick shout out. We've got Jenny in here. I haven't seen you in ages, Jenny. Love you, Miss Jen. Sam's also with us.
Yes,
Annie, Shelley calling
Hi,
out, we miss
Shelley.
your gorgeous face.
I miss your gorgeous face too.
We've got Gail in here. We've got Colleen in here. Don't want to miss anybody. I said Sam's in here. Hi, Sam. Nice to see you could get on and join us today. We had Kerrie O'Kell join us. Hi, Kerrie.
Hi, Nita.
So I'm just sort of jumping through and seeing and said, hi, Gail. Hi, Belinda. Okay, I think we've sort of caught up because we've been naughty. We've been trying to, we like to engage with everyone on here as well.
I can't. I can only do one thing at a time.
I know.
If
It's
I'm
hard.
responding to someone who I want to have a conversation with, I
Yeah.
can't listen.
Yep. So, yeah, go on, Annie. I think you're going to say what I was going to say.
Synchronicity.
Funny about that.
What we might do now is, have you got your divining rods?
I do.
No. I've got my cards.
Excellent. Oh, Marie, I missed you. Hi, Marie. That's my beautiful sister.
Oh, bless.
And, sorry, I shouldn't have missed you. How naughty of me. You can smack me next time I see you.
Can I just say something before we do this?
Hi,
I don't
Belinda.
know.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys can see the poster behind me. I don't know how you can miss it. It's like 6 foot tall. But Celtic Tarot is now doing aura photography.
Yes.
So it's taken me a week and a bit to get my head around it. I think I finally got my act together and got it sorted. So if everything has an aura, every living thing has an aura. So if you would like to book in and get your aura taken, what you get is you get a glorious picture of your beautiful self surrounded by all the colours, and then you'll get emailed a 12-page report, if I can ever work out how to do it. One day at a time, people, one day at a time. I was actually banging my head on the screen the other day. It tells you what all the colours mean, where your energy is coming from, what your energy aura personality is. It's very, very glorious. It's very, very.
Belinda, you have to book in. You have to, if you're in Brisbane or in Queensland, you've absolutely got to book in with Annie and go and do it.
If you give me
2 seconds, last week.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. I'll chat amongst yourselves and I'll show you what my picture looks like.
Yeah, thanks, Annie. I was just thinking I should have grabbed my aura photo so I could hold it up and say, see, this is what it looks like. So, yeah, I was lucky enough. I was over at Annie's last weekend and I was lucky enough to have my aura photo done.
I don't know if you can see that.
Reflecting the screen. That's a bit better. Look at that golden glow.
So there you go. That's what your energy looks like. So if you're interested, you know where I am. You just need to be patient with me.
So no, it was great. So we got to have a bit of a play last weekend. And when you sit there, because you can see the screen, and you have your hand on the plate, and of course it's taking the digital image with this one, which is great. And you can see the aura around you. And I go, oh, that's excellent, because that's the bubble. That's the bubble that I visualize when I'm doing my meditations, going to that beautiful bubble of light. And there it is. I'm sitting in it. It was awesome.
It's good fun.
I loved it. So,
okay, my darlings, questions.
Yeah,
Cards.
what questions have you got for us, and what can we answer for you this week? We'll just wait. People be typing away.
Gail. Kerrie, do you want to take Gail's? Yes or no?
Yep. ask my spirit guides and angels if you're ready to communicate and work with me. Can you open the divining rods for yes? So I see yes. Thank you. Take them back to the start. Thank you for stepping in. Gail would like to know if she will be at the same company for March next year. There's uncertain times right now. Gail will be at the company. Gail, I've got a no for March next year. Just take it back. Is this change a positive change for Gail? Okay, so nothing to worry about, Gail. It's just as it should be, and the timing will occur when it's right.
Yeah. Gail, I've got your world's going to change. I've got that you will cut ties. I've also got the card of rebirth, and I've got financial security around you. So I've got everything is going to be okay. It's all going to be positive. Um, I've also got that this is about it'll be a bit a bumpy ride. You know, for a wee while it'll be a bumpy ride. Once you I think that's more or less doing it to yourself because of your concerns. But I've got a bed of roses and a brand new beginning and financial security coming. So it'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Annie,
Belinda.
yep. Should I study? Do you want to go with this one first? Because I could do a quick yes or no. But it's always nice, even though I'm getting a direct yes or no for you, to actually hear what's also coming through the tarot and that additional little story that your angels and guides are wanting to make sure the messages are getting through to you in a full way.
Belinda, I've got I've got one I've got an obstacle in terms of your study. There's one obstacle that you need to get over. I'm feeling um, this is something that you've wanted to do for a while, and this is an investment in yourself. And it just feels like you should be doing it. You should. Um, it just feels like it's the right thing to do. The only thing that's getting in your way is you. I just feel that your confidence is a bit wobbly, but it's looking good. And the card I've got for you is who do I want to be next? Not what do I want to be, it's who do I want to be. And I think it's important that um, you should. Now, your son, I've got a bit of frustration around him. Um, in fact, I've got a lot of frustration around him. Around that, it's saying you need to stay strong. Um, he has his moments. You need to talk to the teachers. I've got my card for teaching and learning. I just feel like the teachers don't understand how best to actually work with him. So if you have a chat with the teachers, I would suggest that you get him to sit right at the very front of the class so that he doesn't have any distractions. But you need to have a conversation with the teacher about how he might need time out or he needs to not be distracted. I think I'm done now.
Okay. So I'll just go through quickly for you, Belinda. Belinda would like to study. And is that the right path for her right now? Belinda, if you see that, that's a slow yes. So it does indicate the study is coming, but at their period of time. Okay. Yep. Did I get that right? Take it back to the start. Thank you. And with her son, will he settle in school? They're wavering there, Belinda. They're not saying yes and they're not saying no. So I think it was really important. And I felt that, is that right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I think it was important that Annie actually do that. And I felt that straight away, which is why I asked her to jump in on that one early. Annie, you're obviously looking at the chat. Where are you going next?
I'm at Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there. I just feel like there's some negativity around that moving house bit. It just feels like you have some concerns or reservations around that. I also feel like this is hitting you on an inner child level. It's like, I don't know if I should go, I don't know if I should stay, and you get yourself all tied in a knot, and then you don't do anything. What your cards are saying is that have positive expectations around that. Visualize where you want to go. Visualize what you want. Um, we said it earlier. Energy goes where intention flows. Nope. Intention flows where energy goes. Whatever the hell it is, have, have that picture in your head of where you want to go, because if you visualize it, the energy will go with it. And I've got new opportunities around that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm not going to do a yes no on that one because that's my sister. It's a little bit close to home sometimes when I read for the energy. Should you move house when the timing is right? Is what I got straight away. And do you see where you're going? I actually don't feel like it's too far from where you are now, but it could be a bit closer to water. So just something I saw visually come in. But I won't use the dowsing rods on that one, and it's that's great that you jumped in, Annie. Have you already selected another one?
I'm at Jenny.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes. I've got to move. I've got a house. I've got a new house. Again, um, little obstacle, lack of communication around this move, which causes some frustration. Um, I've got no filter, Jenny, and I don't know who you are. Stop faffing around and just do it.
Annie, you do know who she is.
Who is she?
She's Jenny from my old team.
Oh, Jenny from the block. Yeah, stop faffing around, Jenny. Now I know who you are.
Now, just go for it. You know who she is.
Sorry, I didn't recognize your name. Yes, I do have the new house, but again, some frustration around communication. But it looks good. I've got that shift.
Yep. Okay, so I'll do that one with the rods for you, Jenny. Will Jenny be selling up where she is and moving north to retire? Let's know if it'll be, well, let's answer that one first. Will she be moving up north to retire? The answer to that, Jenny, is yes. Will it be by Christmas this year? Maybe not by Christmas, Jen. That just went to a no. Will it be in the first quarter of 2023? Just after Christmas, Jen. Maybe not by Christmas, but just after that time period. Yes, got a double yes on that one. Okay.
Do you want to take Maria's that one?
The op on the left knee. Okay. Will Marie need an operation on her left knee? Marie, that's gone to a no. You won't. So that it won't be any time soon.
Marie, what I got was you're seeing that as the only solution, but there are other alternatives, other avenues you should explore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think if people are saying you need to do this, I also feel that there's some fear around that procedure. But I'm just feeling look elsewhere, look at alternatives, look at maybe alternative medicines. I don't know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I'm feeling. I'm just feeling that it's not about an operation. It's
Mm-hmm.
more about something that can help without you having to go through the operation.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody tells you you have to have the operation, stand your ground and say, no, that was really clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely got the no straight up from Spirit on that one. So okay. Um, Annie, there was. Have you
Anita,
already grabbed another one, or I was just looking at Anita's
I'm
question
at
here?
Anita.
Right. Okay.
I'm with you, Anita.
And Anita, that's not going to be a yes no for my divining rods. So I'm going to leave this one with Annie.
What I've got is I've got a battle, is what I've got. I've got that there's a journey. He has to actually go through this journey. Um, I also feel like he feels like he's stuck. Um, I do feel that there's just some rocky, bumpy bits. I do feel that the outcome will be okay, but it's not going to be an easy ride.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be an easy journey. The other thing around that is that there really is nothing you can do that's coming through, and I think that's some of that frustration around you is because if you could, you would just make him better, and seeing him not progressing is hurting you. But I do feel there'll be a good outcome. Just it's a lesson that he's got to go through. It's a process. Sorry, my love.
Mm. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it will be. It's just
You
going to be
just
a
and you'll
bumpy
be
ride.
yeah. So Annie, did you see this one from Sam? We haven't done that yet, have we?
No.
Okay.
When you okay, Sam, I know you. You've got a whole lot of shit in your head about this. Um, I think you're also feeling completely overwhelmed at the moment. So there's a whole pile of anxiety around you. Um, you've got the skills, you've got the knowledge. There's also some, it's about, oh, I'm dipping my toes into this new thing. Um, change your attitude and expectations. Um, I've got a celebration around that, but you need to focus on all the positives.
Mm,
And when you're, like when you get to the point of an interview, be really, really upbeat and chatty and happy, even although you feel like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I just feel a lot of heavy energy around you. So
mhm.
it's about being light and bright. So, and good luck. What century will I find love? I love you, Maria. My response to you is, do you really want to wash somebody's socks? No, you don't. You don't. You're actually fine. Um, if it give me a minute and I'll be sensible. What I've just pulled is, is the wise woman that says, yeah, I've just pulled that. If anybody actually tried to step into a proper serious relationship with you, you would run a mile. What you actually want is somebody that you can just pal around with, like a Wednesday and a Saturday, and you can put them back in the cupboard for the
Mm.
rest of the week. Because I just feel I've got this really strong feeling of, yes, it would be nice, but I don't know if I can be bothered. So sorry. Just there's the opportunity for a relationship, but it would need to be on your terms. Need to be
Mhm.
on your terms.
Okay, so there is one that we have missed all the way back up. Hang on, I'm trying to find it. Oh, oh gee, I'm going slow. I've got new glasses, bear with me. They're multifocals, and so depending on what I'm looking at, depends how blurry it is as I'm getting used to them. Sorry about that.
Somebody wanted to know what messages people, her loved ones had for her.
Yeah, there you go. Found it.
You found it, Kerrie?
Okay, so I can't use my divining rods for this one, so I'm just going to connect in directly. Most importantly, they're wanting you or wanting to validate for you that they are around you. And I feel like they are speaking to you in dreams. You may not necessarily be remembering what it is that they're saying to you, but more important than the words is the emotion, because it's coming through as a feeling of, we are around you, we support you, we understand you, we're raising your energy, and we also acknowledge, they're acknowledging what you do for others as well as what you did for them. So there is this almost exchange of energy that is going on, but to remind you that they're definitely still around you. And yes, do talk to them because they can hear you.
There's a situation around you that you may feel is not fair. Um, I've got some frustration around that. I've also got the fact that they feel like you're having a bit of a battle at the moment. Um, the response I'm getting is that everything is going to be okay,
Mm-hmm.
and also that financially, um, it's going to be okay. That's what I'm being told.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that helps.
Yeah,
I think I think we
there's
might
there's
wind it up
definitely
a
that
bit.
energy of support. Now I know Colleen. I thought I saw Cole had asked a message, and I didn't really see what it was, and I can't find it.
Ask
Uh,
again, Paul.
yeah,
Is the actions in Canberra going to have a positive outcome?
right. Okay.
You can take that one with your rods, Kerrie.
Yep. Spirit, we're wanting to know, will the protest or the peaceful protesters in Canberra be successful in trying to achieve full freedom? Will the actions be successful? It's gone to a yes. But you see how quickly they came back to the centre after I acknowledged the yes? And I don't know whether I was holding them or you could see them well enough to see how slowly it went to yes. So it's not going to be an overnight thing. Again, it was they took their time to get to yes, which means eventually. So.
Okay, my lovelies, we might wind it up now. Thank you all so much for being with us. It's been a joy. You know where we are. I know we've probably missed a couple of messages. We'll try to get back to you.
Yep.
You go for it.
Yeah. So we'll just we can look back through the chat messages later, Annie, and if we resonate and get a message back through, we can send a private message to you maybe. So we'll try and do it that way. But thank you so much for Annie. Sorry, Kerrie O'Kell is very new to us on here. Did you want to just pull one card for her? Any advice or messages from her angels?
That's interesting. I picked up my angel cards.
There you go. Like it was just, I was going to keep talking and say we'll get back, and she just jumped out at me. So not that I'm trying to ignore any other messages on here. I'm not. It's just that that one jumped from my screen at me.
Kerrie. Okay. What I got for you is get creative, follow your dreams, happy ever after. So whatever it is that you're not doing, do it, because positive outcomes. It's about getting creative. This feels very much like you have a dream. There's something that you really want to do, and I feel like you've got a bit stuck. But if you get creative and follow that dream, the universe will come with you, the energy will come with you, and we've got unicorns and rainbows as your outcome.
Yeah. Intent and intentions. See, it brings us right back to where we started on conscious conversations. And
synchronicity. Who knew?
Thank you. I knew that jumped out for a reason. That's the perfect one to bring it back full circle, Kerrie. Thank you.
Okay, my love. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Have a lovely fortnight.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
If you're in or around Brisbane, book in with Annie. Go get your aura photo taken. It's awesome.
And please like, subscribe, and share. Yes, I
we forget to do that. We always forget to do that.
Hooray for me.
Yeah, we love to grow our little community and we love listening and watching everyone engage with each other in chat too. It's just awesome to watch that little community grow with each other. It's great. All right, well, have a great Sunday night, everyone. Have a great Sunday night, Annie. Thank you.
If I can sleep. Thank you too. Namaste.
Okay. Namaste. Bye.